Hey Scott, I'm leaving. I'm putting in my paperwork, man. I'm done. I was shocked when I was on the phone call with this guy. We'll call him Bob. Bob was one of the best Special Forces officers I ever met. This guy, I talk about him in my book under a different name, in my book Game Changers. He was just amazing, thoughtful, energetic, composed, engaging. He was the quintessential Special Forces officer, the guy you wanted to be around. He had such vision for the regiment and where we were going. I would trust this guy with my life. Just the most genuine, the guy you could imagine. I imagined leading the entire Special Forces regiment. It called me to tell me he's getting out of the Army because he had not been selected for a command in Special Forces. And I thought to myself, how in the world is this possible? How could this regiment be so blind to the sheer talent that this guy is and what they are potentially losing by this guy walking away? It baffled me. And it wasn't long before, I was actually already out of the Army, and thank goodness he did end up sticking around, and he's done some great things and continues to do great things. But you know what? It's not because of that regiment. It's because of his work to stay value added. So, it's just the fortune of the nation that this guy's so committed to something bigger than himself that he is stuck around and found a way to continue to add value and to continue to find fulfillment in his life. But that, how many people are going to do that? The reality is, as I got out of the Army and I started working in corporate America, and I work a lot in corporate America in the leadership front and the trust restoration front, everywhere. Everything from auto salvage to banking to mortgages and steel, and even in law enforcement. I see it everywhere I look is just horrible management of talent. And in fact, it's my producer and integrator, Wes, who brought this up. He's like, we should do a video blog on mining talent, because it's so horrendous. Talent is just slipping through our fingers, as he calls it. And, as always, he's always on point with the social ills of the corporate world. And so, I'm bringing it out. I'm happy to talk about it because I'm in there running the scenes every day, and I see it. I see organizations that they cannot mine their own talent, right? And you've got to do it. If you think about it from an organizational perspective, humans are social creatures. We're born to group, and if we don't group, we die. We don't exist anymore, right? And as a social organization, if you don't invest in your talent, right? And I mean human investment. I'm not talking about this. You have to do that too. But I'm talking about actually in your mindset and your skill set, make it a core part of who you are and the culture you build as a leader. You're not going to make it organizationally. You're going to die. It's just a matter of time. It may outlive you a little bit, but not much, right? So there's 3 things I want to give you today in this short little video blog that you could do right now to just improve how you mine talent in your business. Number 1, stop thin slicing. Stop thin slicing to look for your talent. Right? There's a wonderful book called The Goldmine Effect. And one of the things the author talks about in that book is that most of the HR people and most of the talent scouts, they thin slice. And over 50% of the talented individuals are below the surface of that thin slice look that talent scouts put out there, that HR people put out there, that business leaders put out there. Right? We don't take the time to look deeper and really understand where the talent is. So at least 50% of the talented folks never get tapped into. Michael Jordan was cut from his first basketball team. How'd you like to be that coach, right? Or Usain Bolt down in Jamaica was largely overlooked as a sprinter. You got to look deeper. You got to look for the backstory. That's what I tell leaders all the time. How much do you know about your people? Have you asked them for their origin story? Right? Have you asked them where they come from? You'd be amazed what you can learn just by asking someone to tell you their backstory. And almost no leaders do it. That's number 1. Stop thin slicing, go deep, and learn about your people. Number 2, get out of your own way. Right? We all have to do this. We have to get out of our own way. Our ego. There's such a component of narcissism today. It's pathetic. It's really concerning. right? And even if you don't mean to be narcissistic, your ego can get in the way. We naturally are afraid of folks being better than we are or our legacy being diminished. But if we truly are dedicated to our organization, our company, our brand, our mission, we need to want them to be better. You know, it's like my kids. I have 3 boys. They're all 3 better than me right now. I want them to be better than me. My oldest son, Cody, he's going to be a military officer. He's already better than me. He's better than me. I want him to be better than me. He trains with Wes in the pistol. He's a better shot than me. I want that from my son. Do you understand? Because I want my bloodline and my legacy to continue on down the road. And the only true way for that to happen is if our children, our employees, our talent are better than we are. But we got to buy into that as a mindset thing, right? And it has to happen. And I see so many leaders who they say they're into talent management, but they're not. They hold back just enough so that that person's not better than they are. And that's bull. That's organizational suicide. The third is let those talented people contribute to the vision. As a leader, you have to have a crystal clear vision of a better world that doesn't yet exist. You hear the thunder kicking? So that's how important that is, right? Right? You have to have a crystal clear vision of a better world that doesn't yet exist, and the ability to share it with and help get people to help you build it. But once you do that, let them contribute to the vision, right? I'm doing some team building right now with some very high-end talented players. One of the things that we are doing and we're going to continue to do is to let them contribute to the vision of where the organization is going. When I was on a special forces team, everybody contributed to the vision. Everybody on that A team. We stood in a circle and everybody contributed. Everybody had a say. That's skill set. That is a skill to let the other talented people contribute to the vision, because guess what happens? They get ownership of it. It becomes shared struggle, shared experience, and reciprocity happens, and now they will run through walls for that vision. They own it, and they will carry the football even after you're gone. What more could we possibly want? Stop thin slicing. Get out of your own way and let the talent contribute to the vision. If you'll do those 3 things, what you'll start to see is that people, relationships, and story start to emanate in your business. People, relationships, and story. And what works, we did this in Special Forces. What works in life and death works with time and money. Invest those 3 things and watch what happens with your talent. Get surrounded on purpose. Put emphasis on people, relationships, and story. And do those 3 steps. Stop thin slicing. Get out of your own way. Put your ego aside and let the talent contribute to the vision. Watch what happens. I'll see you on the high ground.